Guys, if you want to get healthy or learn how to live, just listen to me then, inspiration I give. If addiction's your struggle, no matter which one, I wrote the book on addiction. That battle, I've won. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass is the title of my book, so check it out. You won't regret the minute you take a look. Nothing negative on my show, I promise you that. All positive info. Now let's have a chat. The phone lines will be open for you to call in. Keep it clean and respectful, and I'll let you in. The smartest person that you'll ever meet, it's really not me, guys. If I were, that'd be neat. But a lot of info I do sure know, so tune in and learn stuff on the Jerry Petito Show. I've been picked up by 2 other networks. That's really cool. PANJ Radio out of Lambertville, New Jersey. I'm with them one Wednesday, probably going to be 2 soon, Wednesdays a month at 2 p.m. I'm with Beverly Nation Online Talk Show Radio now every other Monday night, so you can catch me 10 p.m. next Monday night. Rob Bell is the owner of PANJ Radio, and Brother O is the owner of Beverly Nation. And if it weren't for Hamilton Radio, they would never have picked me up. Okay, guys? So it all started right here. I love all these radio stations. They're amazing. So having said that, I'm going to let my guests introduce themselves, and then I'm going to read the poem I wrote about them. Go ahead.
Hey, everybody. Nick Ferraro, and thank you so much, Jared, for inviting me back again. I appreciate it, man. Always have fun here.
This is great.
So it's fantastic.
Hi, everybody. I'm Lenny Gatto, and thank you for this wonderful
so cool.
invitation. What's going on, Nick?
Hey, Len. Hey, ¿cómo está?
How are you?
How you doing?
How are you doing?
All right.
How you doing?
So, guys, I'm going to read this poem I wrote for them, okay? All right, guys. Oh, and by the way, this is my book, and it's a copy for you.
Thank
Nick
you.
already has one.
Yep.
All right? So, the poem is called They Call It Gravy, We Call It Sauce, because that's the title of his play. First part of this poem is really quite neat. This guy sitting here is one you can't beat. He won my heart, yes, add hello. 2 things made me smile about him, I know. What you guys don't know, how famous he is. I'll give you a clue, he's in showbiz. Impersonating someone, the coolest of cool. He goes by Philly Elvis. Nick will make you drool. One more thing I gotta share, he also acts. He's good, I swear. My first red carpet was 'cause of him. The entire cast I met, my brain went dim. Backfire was the movie. This guy, he isn't done. Writing his own script, he sure is having fun. He's also in a musical, and yes, I will be there. I'll introduce my next guest and the reason he got this chair. Lenny Gatto is his name. He's the guy behind the scenes. I hear this guy is brilliant, a guy with many means. He founded his company in 2004, Music Jar Productions, it's named. No Boundaries, an hour with Lenny Gatto, a CD he produced and claimed. His love for music began early on, performing recitals in school, saxophone lessons at 12. Damn, this guy is cool. Had music theory studies in high school, was presented Instrumental Music Award by his teacher, a member of Juilliard. This kid really struck a chord. Get it?
Ta-da!
Lenny served in the Navy for over 20 years, a Vietnam veteran. Wait, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Lenny served in the Navy for over 20 years, a Vietnam veteran. I thank you, sir, for serving. Because of you, we had no fears. 3 songs in the musical were written way back in '71. A young sailor writing music for mental wellness, not just fun. You wrote 6 more in the '80s. A fellow officer now joined in. The last 3 years, 3 more got done. What a ride your life has been. You also studied acting. HB Studio was the place. The list of famous actors study there, yes, in that space. Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Bette Midler, Gene Wilder too. Cynthia Nixon and Jeff Bridges, just to name a few. Lenny wanted to perform in musicals on Broadway. Because of Uncle Sam, he couldn't accept a play. Lenny wanted to write a sequel to one of the best. West Side Story was the show, denied permission on his quest. He decided to write his own, a musical about things he knew best, about Italians' lives and drama. Could be funny or a fright fest. I love the concept of this play, but change that title, please, right away. They call it gravy, we call it sauce. What kind of guinea are you? We call it gravy, they call it sauce. Gravy is right, sauce won't do. Whether you're Sicilian or Napolitan, the phrase we love to say, vaffanculo to you all. It means have a really nice day. And that's for you, and that's for you.
Beautiful.
Great.
Good job, Jerry. Good job. Beautiful.
The FCC isn't listening to me.
And it does mean have a nice day.
Yeah, sure it does.
So everybody,
Lord.
listen, the show is yours. The show is yours tonight. So let's start with, well, I want to, before we start this, I do want to say something about Nick, because I want to bring this out first to let everybody know. Nick's been on my show a few times. He's now a very good friend of mine. I just love this guy. He was known as the Philly Elvis, but he broke out into acting, and he's awesome. He's incredible. He's going to talk about this tonight as well. He starred in, you were in the one about Bruce Springsteen, right? Tell them first the name of that.
Springsteen and I.
Springsteen and I. And then Backfire, which
Right.
is the one I went to with the red carpet, which was so
last
cool.
year, came out last year.
Okay, and then you wrote one also. We're going to talk about all that. What's the title of that?
Brotherly Love.
Okay, and we'll talk about that. And now he's in this amazing musical. All right, and this guy, we're going to have you talk about all that, and then we'll go back to Nick.
Okay. Well, as you know, they call it gravy, we call it sauce. It's just a comedic title.
Yes,
It really
love
doesn't have
it.
anything to do
No.
with the show, other than there's some banter in the show about sauce and gravy.
Love it.
It's really a love story. The story is, by the way, the story is based on actual events that have happened,
Okay.
not necessarily to me or my immediate family.
Okay.
But things that
Speak a little
have happened. And characters are based on real people. And yes, I took poetic license with some of the things. You have to do that.
Yes.
The story, however, is about a third-generation Sicilian girl who is born in the United States, raised in Mulberry Street, on Mulberry Street in New York City in Little Italy. Her parents immigrated when they were teenagers. And they immigrated with their own individual families. They got together, got married, then they had the daughter. They absolutely loved the city. The mother owns a high-end bridal shop. The father works for the city. They love the city. There's nothing better in the world for them than New York City. They love America. Their daughter hates the city.
Oh.
She can't stand anything about the city. She can't wait to someday move to the Boibs, where she can have a house with a picket fence and a pond with geese and waterfowl and things of that nature.
Okay.
Everything goes well. She falls in love with this very young and successful Jewish boy. And although her father is a hardline Sicilian guy, he doesn't have a problem with that. The problem is that she gets pregnant out of wedlock, even though she's engaged. That's not good enough for the father. He then banishes her for 20 years, doesn't talk to her, cuts all family ties. Fast forward 20 years, the child who was born is a girl whose name is Barbara. She grows up to be a very intelligent woman, but while she's growing up, she keeps pestering the mother. Why is it that I know daddy's side of the family, but I have no idea where you come from? I don't know anything about you. And the mother, of course, can shut you down when you're a little kid, and that's the way it was for quite a few years. But now she's a young woman, a college student, and she really, really pins her mother to the wall. She wants to know her background. Well, she finds a photograph, and in that photograph there's a picture of her maternal grandparents. Her maternal grandparents, as I said before, the grandmother owns a high-end dress shop. So she takes the picture, goes to the dress shop, finds the grandmother, introduces herself, and then there is a series of different things that happen where the child, where she meets the grandfather,
Wow.
who, I might add, is played expertly by a great guy named Nino Spalacci. He is remorseful for what he did. He is so saddened by what he did, and when the granddaughter comes to the house to meet him, he's beside himself. And the granddaughter is just so happy that she tells him, "Don't worry, no, we will put our family back together again."
Oh, no. I love that.
And it's funny, as she was raised as a Jewish girl, because when the mother was kicked out of the house, she detached from her own ethnicity. She didn't want to have anything to do with being Sicilian.
Wow.
So she raised her daughter, as in the Jewish faith. So she gets older, and of course now she wants to put the family back together again. But she falls in love with a Brooklyn Neapolitan kid who happens to be an assistant DA. So his first line in the show is something like, "Yeah, I'm from Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, so you got a problem with that?"
I love that.
So the two of them form a bond with the grandparents to put the family back together. And that's what happens.
That's so cool. That's just so cool. So, who do you play?
Io sono Vito. I'm a Vito.
Nick is he is the brother of the patriarch who owns a restaurant called Osteria Trinacria, which Trinacria is the official symbol of Sicily. And he plays the proprietor, Zio Vito, Uncle Vito.
Zio Vito, Uncle Vito.
So, you're the brother of the girl that was.
The brother of the father,
Oh, the
Right.
the patriarch.
Right.
the patriarch. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Right. So
Okay.
I am the brother.
But you don't
So
look
other-
old enough.
He's a younger brother.
All right.
No, I'm a younger brother.
All right.
No and no.
No,
That's a
that's a line in the
That's
show.
great.
it's an inside joke there with the musical, but yeah.
That's
so-
great.
No, I'm having a lot of fun, man. It's been great, and half my lines are in Italian, so
This is so cool.
I enjoy that, and it's been great. So
I'm going to just tell a cute little funny story about something here. When I went to see the premiere of Backfire, that was my first, time seeing Nick on stage, like as an actor, not a singer.
not on stage, but
Well,
On
but
screen,
but on
in
screen,
theater,
right, in theater. And
movie.
I was so mad at him during the show with the scene. There is a scene, and I was like, how could he even play that? Remember?
I just
Okay.
half the theater wanted to kill me after
Okay,
that
but
scene.
then
I'm like, hey, it's just a movie.
No,
It's
but
not-
then at the end, he didn't do what we thought he did. It was
I
so
was
cool.
vindicated.
It was so cool, and I was like, yes. So in this movie, am I going to feel that way at all in this play?
in the musical.
Yes.
No, I am a very. I'm the guy that comes out and sings. And,
Okay.
Everybody
just-
everybody loves Zio
okay.
Vito, and
Cool.
I'm a bit of a
Ham.
ham
Okay.
Casanova, but nah,
Oh, okay, cool.
So I come out and sa benedica, benvenuti a tutti, welcome everybody. So I'm that kind of you go to a restaurant and you know the owner.
Yes.
And he comes out and says hello,
Yes.
and then he goes to the next table and says hello.
Yes.
That's me.
Okay.
So
That's cool.
I don't really have to act because that's me.
That's what
You're
impressed me
right.
the most when he came to audition. It was like, he's not acting. That's him. I said, God, what a perfect fit.
So that's so cool, right?
The thing that was interesting is Zio Vito speaks Sicilian, not Italian and not Neapolitan dialect. So I had to teach him a little bit of Sicilian, and that's what he said to you before. There's quite a bit of Sicilian dialogue in the show.
Okay.
There's also, I told you that the assistant DA who falls in love with the granddaughter, his mother is from Naples.
Yay.
So that character had to learn Neapolitan dialect. So there's a few lines there. But the majority, of course, is in English. But
What
yes.
a lot of people don't understand who are not Italian is there are very big differences in, being from Naples or Sicilian. And, I had both in my family. and they would argue about the most ridiculous things, like sauce or gravy. No, but they would argue, and they sounded so different, right? It's so cool.
It's true, and even in the show, there's a segment in there where one of the young girl's name is Rosa, by the way. I neglected to mention that. She has a friend come over, and they're talking about the mother, who is married, and she says to Rosa, she says, "Wait a minute, I thought it was gravy if there's meat in it." And then she says, "Oh, Maron, don't let my mother hear you say that."
I love this.
So, this, whether it's gravy or whether it's sauce, is an argument that has been going on for centuries.
That's right.
But you know what?
It's so
Does it
great.
really matter?
No.
I mean, I grew up, my mother's side of the family is from the Naples area, at least her mother. Her father was from Bari, the other side of Italy, and my father was from Sicily. So I grew up.
You got it all.
My mother used to say gravy, and he used to say, "What gravy? It's sauce."
I love this.
So then I lived in Sicily for 8 years, and that's when I found that, no, it's all sugo. It's
So, why did you live in Sicily for 8 years? That's so cool.
You mentioned before that I was in the military.
Okay.
I spent a little bit more than 20 years in the Navy, and I was stationed there.
Oh, that's so cool.
Well, the way it happened, I was on a ship, and it was coming toward the end of the tour, and we went to Sicily. And I said, I want to get stationed there, because I had met my first wife there. My late wife is what I meant. First wife, the only one. And when I went back to the ship, I said, I want to get stationed in Sicily. I could just imagine what it was like at the Navy Bureau when they got, this kid wants to go to Sicily, send them.
Oh my gosh.
So
That's
I got orders there for the first 4 years, and then came back to the States, was stationed somewhere else, then went back again. Then I was stationed in Naples for 4 years. So in the military, it was 8 years in Sicily, 4 years in Naples. Then I got out of the Navy, retired, and went to work as a civilian in Vicenza, which is way up north. And that was almost a 10-year stint. So I've been all over the place. It was fun.
Nice.
And you learn, you do learn a lot of the different, I don't want to say culture, because the Italian culture is the Italian culture, but the approach. There's a Sicilian mentality, and there's a Sicilian way of doing things. The Neapolitans, everybody knows, if you want good pizza, you got to go to a Neapolitan place, right? And the Neapolitans are very proud of their cuisine, their ethnicity. And my Sicilian father-in-law had always told me, he said, one thing about a Neapolitan, he tells me this in Sicilian, but he goes, a Neapolitan sings when he's happy, a Neapolitan sings when he's sad. Therefore, they sing all the time. So, and it's true. Warm, wonderful people.
So cool.
Nice.
Yes, I love that.
What else you want to know?
Yeah, my grandfather came from Calabria, a town called Cosenza, and I remember him saying that he even had a hard time understanding people of different places within Italy, because they all got the different dialects and everything, sort of like, I guess, in this country, even, the South and whatever. But
True.
But I remember I got corrected as a kid. I said sauce one time, and my father was really mad that I said, and he just said, no, sauce is when you go to the store and you buy it in a jar. That's what he said to me. He said, great, because we always made, the gravy, always made the gravy. And that's what he said. He goes, sauce is when you go buy it in a jar, or buy it at the store in a jar.
Wow.
My dad was from Naples, Avellino, small town. I don't know if you remember this or not, but it might have even been in the 80s when they had the hurricane and it destroyed a lot in Italy. Well, Avellino was the main town it was hit.
I was there in the 80s.
Was
But
it
I
the
was in
80s,
Sicily.
90s? Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
80s.
they've had their series of,
Yeah.
hurricanes and earthquakes.
But my dad's house was still standing until that hurricane.
Wow.
That was the sad part, because I never got to see his house. He always wanted, when he took me, he always was hoping we could go back to the village, but his house was gone.
Avellino's a beautiful place.
Yeah, beautiful.
That whole area there.
Yeah,
is-
it's gorgeous.
It really
so-
is.
Then why don't you talk about how many songs are in the musical, and maybe about I know that, 2 acts, and how long and where and
Well, True. There are 2 acts in the show. There are 12 songs in the show. It took, when we did the lead song, the title song, City, I remember it took me about 6 months to get that all finished. So there's a lot.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of movement in that song. It's in 4-part harmony, portions of it. When I recorded it for the first time, I had to audition the musicians, audition the vocalists, and got them into the studio. First, we had to lay down all the instrumental tracks, get everything done, get all the instruments done.
Can you guys hear him okay? Gino? Yeah. You're good? Okay. You sound low to me.
I do?
A little bit. Okay. As long as everyone else can hear you.
Yeah, you sound good.
Good.
So it took a while to do that one song.
So one song took 6 months to really get it together.
That one did, yeah.
We don't get that. See, there's so much behind the scenes, and when we go see a movie or a play, and we're just like, oh, this is so great, but we don't even understand that part of it.
It's painstaking because you have to lay down the instrumental tracks first, and to do that, I did. I brought in a bass player, I brought in the drummer, and I played the keyboards and certainly guitar. And we had to lay down everything, and that takes a while. I mean, sometimes you don't get it done in one session. Sometimes it takes 3 or 4.
Wow.
Once that's all finished, then you have to go and edit and all of that baloney, and then bring in the vocalists. So the 2 vocalists that I brought in, they're sisters. They were just
that's cool.
tremendous, so we laid down all of those tracks initially. So now I had the entire show, or at least the songs, all finished, recorded professionally in a studio. Then when I started to do the show, it was easy to then audition the people who wanted to be in the show and then work with them to learn the songs. And then we went back into the studio when we did the soundtrack with a different cast altogether. So, but yeah, it takes a while, and it's not that cheap either.
No, I bet it's not. I bet it's not.
And the musicians are all professionals, and it was great. I even brought in my cousin who played the bass guitar, tremendous bass player. But those are the songs, and you mentioned this in your poem before. 3 of the songs, in fact, I wrote when I was a young sailor in Newport, Rhode Island.
That's so cool.
Newport, Rhode Island, and New Jersey aren't close. So in order to get home, I had to first go from Newport to the Port Authority, and then the bus ride from Port Authority to where I lived in New Jersey, which was another hour and a half. So I just got to the point where I said, for a couple of weekends, I'm not going home. And a buddy of mine who lived in Buffalo, New York, said, I'm sure as heck not going to Buffalo. He played a 12-string guitar. I said, dude, let's go write some music.
This is so cool.
So we did what any young sailor did back then. We went to buy a couple of bottles of Ripple wine. And you guys remember Ripple wine, some of your old timers out there? And we went, Newport, Rhode Island is beautiful, especially out by the rocks and the beach and so. And these ideas just started to come. I said, hey, Mark, play this chord, da-da-da-da. And I wrote down the notes. Play that chord, da-da-da-da-da. Before you know it, 3 of the songs got smashed out right away. So I put them away. There's nothing really I could do with them because I was on active duty in the military, stationed on a ship, So I put them away. Years later, in the 80s, I had an opportunity to meet a fellow service member, and we just became fast friends. And we became blood brothers, and we lived next to each other, and we were stationed together in Indianapolis. We were both instructors, and we had time in the evening to mess around. He was a brilliant lyricist. He was a sculptor. He did so many things, a brilliant writer. So I said, hey, Tom, tell you what. Tom Jansing, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
I would get together and say, Tom, listen to this melody. Da-da-da-da-da-da. And he'd say, okay. Then he would write something, here's some more, and then I'd throw my idea in, we'd throw that. Or sometimes he would just give me a completely written thing of lyrics, and I would set that to music. So together we wrote 6 more the time that we were stationed in Indianapolis. And then, again, didn't do anything with them. Didn't record them, nothing. They were just there.
So how many years ago was that?
In the 80s.
Okay. Asking for a reason, so just hear him out. Go ahead.
So that was in
That's insane.
5 to 9. Yeah, it was 85 to 89 in that area. Yeah, 85 to 89. Fast forward. Then I get this bug that I want to do this. And like you said, I wanted originally to do a sequel to West Side Story.
Yep. I would have loved that.
You all know how West Side Story ended. I mean, it ended in that basketball court in the chained-in area where Maria walks out and everybody follows her, and that's the name of the game. Didn't you ever stop to think, hey, what happened to Maria after that? So that was my idea. I wanted to take it from that point on and see what Maria's life was like after that. So I contacted a lawyer and I said, hey, look, we got to go ask permission for this. He says, yeah, we do. So we went out, and the organization that owns the copyright came back with not no, but hell no. You can't.
Why?
You can't touch West Side Story. You can't do a sequel. You can't use the characters' names. You can't do anything. So, okay. I said, you know what? Then I will just write about, like you said, something that I know about. So I just penned the show based on something that I knew, because I wasn't an authority on West Side Story other than that I've seen it.
Right.
You know, and I got a brain so I can
Right.
put things together. But and in retrospect, the right thing happened because I met so many wonderful people doing this. We're in the fourth run of the show now. We did it in 3 other venues already in New Jersey, and now we're doing the 4th one. I really wanted to take it to New York this year. And the reason why I couldn't is because I couldn't find a venue that had a stage large enough for us around the time I wanted to do it, and I didn't have all the funding.
Okay.
So, you know, we have a cast of 24. It's not a small cast. So I said, okay, you know what? We'll do it one more time, see if we can drum up some do, re, mi, help me out a little bit. And then we'll see maybe next year or the year after if I get, you know, somebody. I would love for somebody to come up and say, you know what, this is a great show. Let me write you a check, kid. Hey, no problem. So that's kind of what we're looking to
Do you have a GoFundMe?
Beg your pardon?
Do you have a GoFundMe?
I do have a
Tell
GoFundMe
everyone.
page, and it's GoFundMe. They call it gravy, we call it sauce. So
Easy to remember.
see if you can spare $1, help us out, will you? The operational costs are something else. I mean, I took out a personal loan to do this so far.
So, the Italian in me, listen carefully, people. I don't really do this. I've done a couple fundraisers in the last 30 years, and they were both worth it, okay? Even if you have $1 to spare, come on. If you enjoy my show, if I've helped you in any way, if I've given you anything, go to the GoFundMe, please. Come on, we want to get this in New York. Okay, guys? Come on, do that for me.
You know, I look at it this way: the Jewish community has been well represented in the theater. Yentl,
Yep.
Fiddler on the Roof,
Yep.
still goes. I auditioned for Fiddler on the Roof when Rosie O'Donnell played Goldie. But that community, and also now with the band's visit, just beautiful representation of that group. The Spanish-speaking world has been very well represented. West Side Story, In the Heights. I mean, great shows. It's the Italians' turn.
It is the Italians' turn, people.
And I mean, to be represented in the theater where we're not talking about thugs, wise guys, or anything like that. Because unfortunately, whenever you hear something about Italians, oh, right away, it's the mafia, it's
Yes.
this. Stop it. You know, this
Yes.
this is about a family.
That's
you know.
right.
But
That's
if
right.
you don't donate, I'm going to smack you.
And I know a guy, too. I know a guy.
Hey, you got a guy?
I got a guy.
So
I love it.
It's just for ethnic pride. It's time for us to shine, and this is a beautiful, heartwarming story. And I guarantee you, there is no one who can sit in that audience who won't shed at least one tear.
That's right.
You know,
I think this is the first time it's just Italians on my set. Wow, this is so cool, guys.
hey,
So
break out the
cool.
wine. Hey.
So cool.
It's yeah, it's fun. I'm reading the comments as we're looking. A lot of the cast members have checked in too,
So cool.
and it's nice to see that. And somebody just said that Ripple wine was Fred Sanford's drink. Yes, it was. Hey, look, when you're a young sailor and you only have $1.380 in your pocket, that's what you drink, you know.
I want to give a shout out. There's a lot of amazing people out here watching, a lot of people in show business and radio show hosts. Hooney Bach, Magic Man from Beverly Nation. I love you, brother, man. Thank you for tuning in. My cousin Ron Miro from, I love you, Ronnie. Dario. He knows Ripple, and he just said it's from the Fred Sanford drink. And if anyone would know, that would be Dario, because he knows all the old-time everything. He's so cool. Bob Kratzer, Melissa Madden, she says, this is great, guys. Okay, Craig is watching. Hello. Everybody seems to know your Ripple wine. Listen, that's not good, guys. That's not good, okay? Oh, my gosh, Helene. April Setti from New Jersey Buzz, guys. April Setti is watching, okay? So that's really cool. April, me, you. We're going to give these guys a plug, okay, sweetheart? I got their flyer, everything. Thank you. Joshua Hill, Pamela Pelosi, everybody. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Mike D'Amore. Hello, baby. You know, anytime you want to call in, honey. Antonio Sereno, everybody, thank you all for watching. Oh, guys, guess who else is watching? Matt Delara is watching from Backfire. Say
Matt.
hey.
Hey, what up, Matt?
Okay, I went to his red carpet also for his movie. Matt, you can call in and we'll let you give a shout out to your movie, baby. Okay, call in. Alyssa Lego, hello. Gene Laura, I grew up with him. Ken Brady from the original Casinos, guys, who was on the Jerry Petito Show live. Ken Brady, love you, man. Then you can tell me goodbye. Everybody, wow, this is so great. Valerie, I love all you guys. So,
Can I do a shout out real quick?
do as many shout outs as you want.
Roger Chow, grazie. Roger Wetherell is a guy who was stationed with me in Naples. He was one of my broadcast journalists, and he lives in Naples now.
Wait, he was stationed with you?
Beg your pardon?
He was stationed?
Yes, he worked with me.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, it's nice. Thanks.
No, we have
I
to
love when
say
people
that.
say that. It's very nice of people when they
We
say
have
that.
to say that.
Dylan Sibilla, he's one of our wonderful cast members. People are just checking in, and Gene Onstott. Again, we go back so many years in the Navy. He's a great friend, and we were stationed together when in Indianapolis when Tom and I were writing those 6 songs. So
This is so cool.
and it just goes back, and you look and say, wow, well, he's Raffaella Marchetta. How's that for an Italian name?
Raffaella, how you doing?
He's going to play the priest.
You're the priest?
This is
is so
Father
cool.
Ciro Parlato right there.
Guys, whoever's watching this, please share it. Share this video. We want to get this word out. We want everybody coming to the show. So, all you got to do is press the share button. Please share my video, guys. Every single one of you out there right now who's watching it, just share the video. That's all we ask. Thank you.
And go to the GoFundMe page.
And go to the GoFundMe because you don't want anybody to slap you silly.
Here's some more shout outs. Jimmy Bubats.
Bubats.
Jimmy No Two Names.
So great.
Bobby the Right Angle. Hey, I don't know.
This is so great. Ralph Sanders. Hey, baby. Look at everybody who's watching. This is like way too cool. Jimmy Bailey. All right. Pasquale. Danny Coleman. Danny Coleman Show, guys. He also is a radio show host. He used to be on Hamilton Radio. Check him out on the Danny Coleman Show, guys. Okay?
Hey, Len.
Hey,
why don't
Kathy.
why don't you tell everybody when it is, where it is, and let's make sure we have sold out. Ticket sales are doing well, but we want. Well, go ahead. Tell them
Hold on.
when and where.
Tickets
But wait, I have a question about how much are your tickets, by the way?
$35 if
Okay.
you buy them early bird, $25 if you're a student or a faculty member, and $45 if you wait till the day of the show. So
Okay. I will be at the December 1st show, guys, right? The December 1st
Is
one.
that a Saturday night?
yes,
That's the one.
Is that right? Saturday night?
Yes.
Right,
Yeah,
that one.
the show is November the 30th, which is a Friday night, showtime 7:30 p.m. December 1st, again 7:30 p.m. And December 2nd, 3 o'clock in the afternoon at the Rosen Performing Arts Center in Wayne, New Jersey. And
And they can get tickets by.
tickets now, to get tickets, it's simple. MJP stands for Music Jar Productions, which is
love
my
that.
company. MJP.booktix, BOOKTIX.com. Booktix, MJP.booktix.com. There are many people, believe it or not, in that area, especially the older folks. Some of them don't have computers, and they've called in to the my answering service, and they want to know how they can get tickets. Simple. You call 609-303-2013. Tell them you want to buy tickets, but you don't have a computer. The answering service will pass that information to me. I will call you, and I'll do the tickets for you and mail them to you.
That's service.
Who is Roger Wetherell? Does anyone here know him?
Yeah, he's my my Navy journalist buddy.
Oh, the Navy journalist. He said he'd pay 100. So Roger, listen, go to the GoFundMe right now, baby. Listen, give them 100. Call our show tonight. Let me know that you know them, and I'll get you a ticket. How about that?
Roger, if Roger jumped on, he's retired. He went from the Navy to the Coast Guard, and so he's a retired guy too. All he has to do is
thank
jump
you.
on a Mac
Thank you.
flight, and I'll comp
That's so
his ticket.
cool.
I have a couple friends that are watching too, guys. One's Rod Argent from the Zombies,
Ooh,
and
nice.
Argent,
This
and
is
Larry Chance and the Earls.
Oh, Larry Chance. We love Larry.
Wow.
Okay, how cool is this, right?
Oh my
That
goodness!
is
Look
awesome.
at this.
So, why don't you talk a little bit? We have plenty of time. We're going
What do
to
you wanna
almost
say?
6:30. So I want you to tell everybody.
Beda.
Oh, baby, I want you to tell everybody what's
Ciao,
happening
beta
in your life.
famiglia.
I love him. Tell everybody out there what's
Which one?
happening in your life.
I'm just it's been real busy, the musical, rehearsing every week, and
Tell about your movie too. Come on, we're going to talk about it all.
I guess the saying of turning a lemon into a lemonade or whatever. But so I had a bad fall in February, early February, and broke my leg. So while sitting on the couch trying to get over this,
Talk to them.
I decided to write a film. Excuse me, and a script. And so I wrote it, and I was just in Nashville a couple weeks ago, and a production company loves it, wants to produce it, along with actually a production company in New York. So we're in the process of getting all that together, meeting with some investors, and looking to start filming in the spring, and hoping to have another red carpet for you, honey,
I
in
can't
in the
wait.
fall.
I can't wait.
And yeah, so the movie's going to be called Brotherly Love, and so it's pretty exciting. So pretty exciting.
You have Jesus Santiago. He also sings Elvis. He's watching. He said cheers. Ralph Ippolito. He is an amazing hysterical comedian impersonator. I'm hoping to be at his show. He's been a guest on here. All these great people are watching you guys.
And there's another Sicilian comedian called the Sicilian Guy, and he's coming to the show as well.
That's cool.
I invited Joe Piscopo, who did a spot for us, a radio spot not too long ago. I invited some other people too, but I'm not going to tell you who because I haven't gotten the response yet.
I invited my mom. She's coming.
Aw, your mom. I got to
And
meet
my
your
pop.
mom and
My
your
mom and my
pop.
pop
I got
will
to
be there.
meet them. So, all right. So, could we talk a little bit about the movie script? A little bit. Tell everybody like what's happening with it. Yours.
Sure.
Okay.
What?
You want to tell them?
We have a phone call, guys.
Oh,
Ooh, nice.
Call real quick.
let's take the phone call.
Who this is?
Hello, caller. Who are you?
Hi, this is Mike again. It's a friend of Nick's.
Hi.
Michael.
Taking calls or no?
Yes, we are, darling.
Okay, let me know when.
Now, you're on.
You're live.
You're
You're
on.
live.
You're on, Mike.
So you guys can hear me. Nikki, how you doing, man?
Good, good. Mike, actually, I haven't talked to Mike, and Mike and I,
Fiber?
good friends. I haven't talked in like 6 years, I guess, man, maybe longer.
Yeah, it's been 5 or 6 years. I'm sitting in a mood. First of all, I don't know Nick. It was I've known Nick since 1985.
Yes.
Okay, so I need to turn this down so I don't get confused.
Oh, yes,
Yes.
please turn yours down.
It's,
Yes.
it's in a delay, Mike, so
Yes.
you gotta.
Okay.
Nick and I are, we're alumni of the Philadelphia Catholic school system. So when Nick came in to interview with me, I don't know, like 1985 or so, I was probably a year or two older than him at best. And as soon as he said he went to Monsignor Bonner, I said, "You're hired."
Oh.
And then that started a pretty good friendship over the years. I think we kind of grew up in business together, Nick.
Yes.
But I saw Nick's kids be born, and they were young when I moved away. I moved to Atlanta, and then my kids were born. But I think we try to stay in touch for a while. But the reason I wanted to call, I just wanted to say how happy and proud I am that Nick has always followed his dream. Even back in 1985, this guy wanted to be an actor, a musician. I can't tell you how many events we went to where he either broke out into a Bruce Springsteen routine or an Elvis routine. And, when I was about 25 or 26, he used to drag me to those Elvis things. And at the time, all those ladies were in their 50s.
Excuse me, I am. Watch it.
Well, no, now that I'm in my 50s, I wish...
Oh, okay, it's better, right?
I'm like, Nick, I think I could do better than this, man.
The phone
But,
number, excuse me, 1 second. Someone just said
Yeah.
no phone number. The phone number keeps going back and forth, but when Mike is done, we'll tell you the number again, guys. But
Okay.
it's you'll see it.
Actually, Mike
So
and
I
I.
don't wanna-
No, go ahead, Mike.
Nick, I want just one more story. I think you guys will get a kick out of this. When I say this guy was going to be an actor, he never wavered from that. It was always at the back of his mind, and I knew at some point he was going to chase his dream.
Beautiful.
I don't know, maybe it was 2014 or 15, Nick, when you finally got on stage with Bruce.
2009.
And 2009, I sent that through our old network, and it was amazing how many people who finally said, they could not believe that he finally did it. He got up on stage with the band. But this guy, Nick, I don't want to embarrass you a little bit, but I remember we would go to sporting events together, and he would carry a paper bag with his gorilla mask and his gorilla hands, and I would always say, "What are you planning to do?" And he was a showman. Always wanted to be where the action was. We were at a Notre Dame Navy game, Nick. Do you remember that?
I sure do.
Okay, so it's near halftime. Nick would disappear close to halftime. And I turned in and said to my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife, "Has anybody seen Nick?" She said, "Well, I think that may be him out on the 50-yard line with the Notre Dame leprechaun on top of the cheerleaders thing."
So I think I stood on top of the dugout. It was played where the Orioles played in that stadium.
Right.
And-
like
and-
50,000 people.
Yeah, and I was like doing the Notre Dame chant with this gorilla face, and I had the Notre Dame jersey, but I had the gorilla hands and the mask.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I get a tap on the shoulder, and it was the Notre Dame leprechaun. He goes, "Come on out." So we went on the field. Next thing I know, I got the Notre Dame cheerleaders picking me up in the pyramid, and I'm on the top of the pyramid. And you took a picture of that.
Classic. And you know what? He did things like that all the time, and he made people laugh, and he was, one of the most sincere, friendly guys you'd ever want to meet. Would do anything for anybody.
Thanks, buddy. You're
And,
embarrassing me, man.
Even though we don't talk, we're still buds, man.
Mike, I thought you were going to tell the story of when my second child was being born.
I wasn't going to do that.
So go ahead. You want
But
to tell that story?
Was
This
a
is.
special night. You want me to do that?
Go ahead.
You guys have time for this?
Yes.
So Nick's got a show. We're in Baltimore. I'm, probably second or third level manager at the time, and Nick was a supervisor. And he's got an Elvis gig. So at the time, he's got one child, Nikki, and his wife is pregnant, very, very pregnant, with his daughter, Gina. So he's got a show, and I guess just before he's ready to go on, I get a phone call, and it's Nick saying, Mike, I think Joanne is in labor,
Oh.
and I have to do the show. Can you go get her and take her to the hospital?
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, okay, this is not in my job description. What do I do? And I turned to Jen, my wife, who was still not my wife, and she's like, this is not happening. I'm like, oh, it's happening, and we have no choice. We have to go. So we drive to Bel Air, Maryland. I knock on the door. Nick's mother opens the door. She wouldn't even open the door. She opens it a peep. Those Italian mothers are very trusting. And she's like, who are you? I'm like, well, I'm Mike, and I'm here to take Joanne to the hospital. She's like, who? And I hear Joanne screaming in the background, let him in, let him in. So I get Joanne, I put her in the back seat of my car. I think she's going to have the baby in my car. The whole time I'm looking over at my wife, and she is looking at me with, you can imagine the look. Is this really happening? I'm like, I think it is. So I'm like, no time to argue. I get her to the hospital, and they immediately take her in, and she's in in labor, and she has the baby, and I'm sitting out in the hallway with my wife, and she said, if you ever do something like this to me, it will be over. And then all of a sudden, the doors of the hospital, the hallway doors open, and in comes Elvis running down the hall.
This was before the show started. They're waiting for me.
This is
Sold
before
out.
the show starts.
Sold out.
Baby
Packed.
The baby is born. Here comes Elvis running down
Oh my
the
gosh.
hallway. And I'm thinking to myself, this only happens in the movies, right? But anyway, everything worked out well. Joanne was great. The baby was great.
Had the owner of the bar calling the hospital like,
But
what are you
wait, I
doing?
have a question. So you
Yeah.
wait, so Nick, you ran there before the show, met your baby, and ran back.
Right, because I wanted to make sure that
Yes.
my wife was fine, the baby was fine.
Did you get to the show on time?
No, we started the show I think it was like an hour and a half later or 2 hours later.
Oh my gosh.
We didn't. I
okay.
think the show was supposed to start at like 8, and we started like at 10:30 or 11 or
Oh
something.
no.
And but I made sure, like I said to my wife at the time, my first wife, I said, everything's good. Is it okay if I go? And she's like, yep, you can go. And I made sure I got the okay because the owner kept calling the hospital because no cell. I don't think we didn't have a cell phone at
Oh,
the time. They're
wow.
calling the
No
hospital,
cell phones, no
and I'm on like a payphone in the hallway in my Elvis suit.
my
And
gosh.
he's like, come on, you got to go. Like we promoted you. It's packed. It's sold out. I'm like, look, I'm having a baby here.
This is so great.
Oh, it was crazy.
I think the only thing that didn't go well, I don't think Joanne was really happy having Nick's boss in the room watching their baby be born.
And then here's Elvis running out of the hospital to go back to the show.
And I'm
Gosh,
stuck
that's
with
great.
a woman that I haven't even asked to marry me yet.
Oh my gosh, this is all so funny.
Yeah.
She's thinking, there's no way this is going to happen. But anyway, look, that is over 30 years worth of friendship.
Wow.
And the reason I called in today, I saw your Facebook thing come up, and I made a mental note that I was going to at least dial in and at least see you guys. But I'm happy. I'm glad you took my call. I appreciate it.
And can you do me a favor? And because
Sure.
I allowed your phone call, can you share my show tonight and watch me on Tuesday nights?
I will.
Thank you, darling. Share the show.
All right.
Mike,
All
thanks a
right.
lot, buddy, man.
Thanks for calling.
It was great hearing
That's
from
great.
you.
Great. Thanks, Mike.
Bye-bye.
That's great.
I got to do a shout out.
Yes.
One of my daughters, my middle daughter, Michelle Evans. Hello, sweetheart. Love you.
That's so cool.
She's in Alaska.
Oh, I love Alaska.
She doesn't. They were very happy in Savannah, Georgia. Two of my sons-in-law are Army helicopter pilots. He has a year to go to retire. Instead of leaving them alone in Savannah, they transfer them for a year or so to Alaska.
Okay.
So, and she's not
There's
very
nothing to do.
happy over
Right,
there.
nothing.
But-
That's a
was
song,
there.
right? Off
Yeah.
to Alaska.
That's
Go
we're going
way up
the Rush
North
Zone.
to yeah, that's cool.
That's right. That's
So-
Johnny Horton.
All right, so what else is going? So tell us about some more projects that you have that you could talk a little bit about. This is going to happen or maybe happen. And then I want to talk about your movie more.
I was going to. I have other projects on the shelf. My passion is the musical, of course. I won't rest until this thing is on the Great White Way, by hook or by crook somehow. But on the back burner, I do have a TV series written. I hired a guy who lives in New York, and together we wrote a TV pilot and 2 follow-on episodes. But I just put it away. I didn't do anything about it. It's called Recruiters. It's all about Army recruiters.
Oh, that's cool.
And the other thing is there's a movie I would like to do. The movie is a very dark movie. It's about a U.S. soldier who murdered another U.S. soldier overseas.
Oh.
And all true. I
Okay.
don't like Hollywood embellishments, but I'm not even going to fool with those things
Okay.
until I'm finished with the musical. This has been just an exciting ride. Like I said, this is the 4th time out. And I also, before I forget, I want to do a shout out to all my Lakewood High School peeps who are listening and watching. Thank you. We had a 50th anniversary, 50th year reunion, and I couldn't go because I had to prepare for rehearsal. And so I was sorry that I missed that. But the first time we did this show was at the iconic Strand Theater in Lakewood, New Jersey, which is where I'm from. And have you been there?
Lots of times.
Beautiful. We
Yes.
did something called the Backstage Pass, and it was nothing more than the preview show. The actors and the audience were on the stage. So it's a huge stage. So we had about 150 people there. I just wanted to see what kind of a reaction I would get out of the audience. Well, it was such a good reaction that I think it was 6 months later. I don't remember. We went to the Middletown Arts Center, and we did 3 nights of a sold-out show there. So I said, I ain't done yet. And each time we did this, I added more cast members because some cast members couldn't continue.
Okay.
They had other things going on for what other reason. So we changed the cast again. Then we did 3 nights at the in Rollway at the help me out. I'm having a brain freeze here.
What?
Oh Lord, it was the Hamilton stage
Okay.
in Rollway, and the Performing Arts Center there, and we had 3 successful sold out nights there. So I said, okay, yeah, I'm finished. Let's concentrate on going to New York. Well, as it turned out, like I said, couldn't find a venue that was large enough for 24 people. And this time we have custom-made sets, and so we need room to do these things.
Oh, okay.
So we have to kind of duplicate a street in New York in Little Italy. So and then
So the stage has to be
it's got to
pretty
be
big.
yeah, it's got to be 40 by
Yeah, okay.
got to have room, and then 24 people running around in the
Right,
opening
right,
number.
right.
And we have to have we have a nice little restaurant there where old Zio Vito comes in.
Can't wait to see this.
It's funny. I didn't know Nick until the day he came to audition, and I tell you, I'm really tough in auditions. I'm nice to everybody, but I know what I'm looking for. You're either going to get a second shot with me or you're not. And he comes in, and it's like, wow. It was like the fist in the glove. Then he tells me, I said, where do you live? Over by Pittsburgh. Huh? Pittsburgh, do you realize that we're doing it? He says, look, I don't care. He says, I love the story. I like this. I really want. Okay, hey, welcome aboard. So and what a nice guy he is.
He's amazing.
He really is.
O pane casareccio e vita. The
So-
bread made in the house is the life.
Don't give too much away, Nick.
Oops.
So, talk a little bit and tell everybody out there what we want to talk about. You know what I want you to tell a little bit about
Yes.
your movie, like really a little bit.
Okay, so yeah, so I'm pretty excited about it,
Okay.
and the movie is going to be called Brotherly Love. It's about two brothers, and they're in the mob in Chicago, and they're a bit of goof offs, you know. They don't do things exactly right. So, and again, I don't want to tell the whole movie, but basically, they find out that they're going to get whacked by the Chicago mob, and so their uncle, who was in town from Philly, who's also in the Philly mob, saves us. He steps in, talks to the head guy in Chicago, and makes a deal with him that he's going to spare us, but we need to get out of town immediately. So we leave Chicago, but then something happens where we discover some things where we have to go back to Chicago, and that causes some things going on there. And basically, in the movie, I was married, and my wife, who we were deeply in love, but she left me 20 years ago because of a situation, and I find out then we sort of connect again.
Okay.
And we connect in Philly. We go back to Philly, and we're with our uncle, and but now we got the Chicago mob after us because we didn't keep our word, and plus we did something that pissed them off, and then so then we wanted the Philly mob to help us out, but we needed to show our worth, if you will. So we were going to do a heist or whatever to kick up to Philly so we can show our worth, so they could protect us, the Philly mob. But then our heist got involved with a Columbia mob family, and now the FBI's after us and the Chicago mob's after us, and things, and it's a love story because my wife and I in the movie, we connect, and then I discover. Again, I don't want to tell you everything,
Okay.
but there's a lot going on in it.
That's so
and,
cool.
Yeah, and then there's a big thing that happens at the very end with the FBI and the Columbia mob and us and the Chicago mob and everything, and then it ends up at the very, very end where we're on an island and the Philly Elvis appears. So
Okay.
to make it, but anyway, so that's it. So it's pretty good movie, and we'll see what happens. So
So,
Can't wait to see that thing. That sounds wonderful.
yeah, thank you.
no, I mean, so I got to read a lot of it, and I love it, and I'm going to let you guys know you got to check out everything that they're doing because I can tell you firsthand, they're amazing. Okay? They're not just somebody I decided to have on the show, and I think they're okay. These guys are great. I'm not kidding. I really mean that, and you know that I mean
You're
that.
very kind.
Appreciate it.
But
Thank
it's
you.
the truth. It's the truth. All right, so what else do we want to talk about? Let's have
It's
some
funny.
fun.
Nikki was talking about a movie.
People want you to sing, by the way. Did you see that?
Want you to sing?
No, they were asking you to sing.
No.
Okay.
In the beginning, when I first decided I wanted to do this musical, I wanted to do a movie instead. Because at that time, there were tax breaks in New Jersey if you did that.
Oh,
So, guess who I invited to be the bartender in the show? None other than Felix Cavalieri of the Rascals.
and
Sat down with him. Helene and I went to see him in concert. I met him backstage because I arranged it prior, obviously. Went down to see him. I handed him the script. He says, "Yeah, man, let's do this." But then Stevie Van Sant jumps in and starts to put together Once Upon a Dream for the Rascals, the reuniting of the Rascals.
I mean that is pretty cool.
And which was a great show. But
Yes.
then I had decided. I sent the script to a Broadway producer, and I said, "Tell me what you think." I said, "I want to do this movie." He came back and he said, "What are you, nuts? Don't do a movie. You want to do a movie? Do a movie 10 years from now." He says, "Put this on the stage." That's why it became a stage show.
Okay.
So Felix couldn't do it. He really couldn't get back to me about it because he was now busy reuniting with the other guys to do that. And as it turned out, they did quite a few shows. Then they went to Broadway and did the show on Broadway, and now he's back touring again. So, oh well, what are you gonna do?
So everybody out there, if anybody's tuned in before they heard everything, the musical is called, which
They-
I don't agree with, but go ahead,
They
tell the name.
They called it Gravy. That's another thing.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you look at the way that the title is written, it's They Call It Gravy, semicolon, and then the word we is uppercased, italicized, and underlined. So therefore, it's They Call It Gravy, we call it sauce, and there's an exclamation point at the end of it.
All right. We call it gravy. But anyway, so you're going to love the musical. I can't wait to see it. I'm going to be there December 1st, guys. I have a little minivan, a grandma van. So anyone in Mercer County, friends of mine on here, if you guys want to buy tickets, you could even ride with me. Not an issue. Whoever lets me know first.
I'm gonna say I'd like to also let everyone know that this first time I'm saying this. So,
Oh.
but this may be
Cool.
my last show, the Philly Elvis.
No.
as I'm more and more acting is becoming.
Oh, I know, but okay.
But March 8th at the Ava de Grace Opera House in Ava de Grace, Maryland. Looks like it may be my last show. I'll be performing with the great, fantastic Eddie Testa Band.
Love them.
From Jersey.
They were here.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Eddie and I were going to be. It's going to be a great show. We may play till 3 in the morning or 4 in the morning, depending on how we feel. But
I got to try and get there.
So so definitely contact the Ava de Grace Opera House in Ava de Grace, Maryland, March 8th. It's a Friday night. It's going to be just a great night. So could be. I think it's probably maybe my last show.
Oh, no.
But Cher's been saying that for like 2-3 years, right?
Okay.
Didn't she do that? Like
That's
my last
good.
tour.
That's good. So it might not be,
Farewell
but it'll be
Nah,
your
but-
farewell.
Yeah, it'll be maybe a farewell show.
Oh,
So, and I'm happy to do it with the Eddie Testa Band, and
Yep.
you know, but
Eddie Testa Band, guys, awesome.
yeah. Anytime you get a chance in the Jersey area, come out and see the Eddie Testa Band.
Yep.
Killer Joe,
Killer Joe, love them.
Killer Joe,
They were
my
all
man,
here,
Killer
guys,
Joe.
all here.
Go check out Killer Joe, his band and everything. So yeah,
My gosh.
And on November 30th, December 1st, and December 2nd, come and see Nick in. They call it gravy, we call it sauce. He's the best Sicilian uncle you ever want to meet. And again, that's at the Rosen Performing Arts Center in Wayne, New Jersey. You get tickets at mjp.booktix.com. If you don't have a computer and you need help with getting the tickets, just call 609-303-2013. That's the answering service. They'll get in touch with me. I will call you, and I'll do your tickets for you. But come to see the show. It really and truly is a heartwarming story. And I'm not saying that because I'm the guy who wrote it or anything like that. It really is. And I think that's what grabs all of the cast members when they first read the script and they say, wow. When they come to audition, obviously, we only give them sides, only little pieces of what a character reads. Oh yeah, they don't get the whole thing.
Oh.
And then when I select them for the cast and they get that first script and they're going, wow. So it's, it took a long time to do this. So it really is a great story. And you don't have to be Italian. You don't have to be Italian. You don't have to be Jewish. You can be anything you want because the theme of the whole song just resonates with whatever ethnic group you happen to belong to. You all had moms and dads. You all had a way that you were brought up. And so it's going to tug at your heartstrings. And you will not leave that theater without shedding a tear. Anybody who's seen the show will vouch for that.
So when someone comes for a part, they don't know the whole script?
Oh, no. The way it works is if I'm looking to cast, there is something called backstage. And backstage is kind of where a lot of the actors look to see, what's available and so on. So I'll contact them. I'll say, look, I'm thinking of, are you interested? Are you available? I'd like you to come and audition for this particular role. And I'll give them the description of the role. And they'll come. And prior to coming, I tell them right off the bat, this is a musical, by the way, so you have to know how to sing, you have to know how to dance a little bit, and you have to know how to act. So when they respond saying, yes, I'm interested, then I'll say, what is your email address? I will send them a portion of the script where that character is featured. And I will also send MP3 files of the instrumental of the song that they have to sing, plus a vocal of the song that they have to sing.
Oh, wow.
So when they come, they got to do both. So, and that's the way it's been. Just really fabulous people. I got to say, the people who I brought into the cast every single time were the right people for the right roles. They were just tremendous.
Very talented people there.
They are
very talented.
And Mary, Mary Bonchek, who plays the matriarch of the family, she plays Gina Garraffa. She is one hell of an actress. She's been in this business for a long time. She's also a third-degree black belt. So I don't want to piss her off too much.
So we don't want to mess with her.
No. But she can tell you that the people we've had are just so professional, and they love the story, and so they get into their characters, and it's just really great. But you have people from all walks of life. I've got professionals, not only professional actors, I have professional people. I have a lawyer. We have a new character, a new cast member this time, who is an actress.
Okay.
She's a model.
Okay.
And then she said to me, well, I'm a doctor too. I said, okay. So she came to the audition, and I said, you're a doctor, even like a PhD? She goes, no, I'm a physician. I said, what? She says, yeah, I've done research for so long, I'd like to do something else. So I do modeling. Her boyfriend is a professional photographer, does all of her photography. She's representing India on the 12th of October in a beauty contest. So here's a physician who just loves acting, wants to do something different, So
where was she when I pulled my stomach muscles? I needed a doctor.
She hasn't been at very many rehearsals because she's been practicing for this. She'll be there on the 14th. So if you pull it on Sunday, it'll be all right.
Oh my gosh.
But there are professional folks who come in other than actors, and then they read the storyline and they just, wow, I like this. This story really and truly, this show deserves to be on Broadway. But I got to, you know as well as I, and at least I think you do, what costs me thousands to do in New Jersey translates to a heck of a lot more once you cross the river.
Right.
So, obviously you need serious backup when you go over there.
My daughter's sister is actually a Rockette. I wish we could do something. It's not like that, though,
Well, is that steady work all year round?
Well, they actually did a summer show for the last few years and a spring show and then the Christmas show. They had 3 shows, so it's steady work.
Wow.
Amazing. Radio City Music Hall. Got to get you in.
A dear friend of mine, Axel J., he and I grew up together in Lakewood. He's been a radio announcer on WCBS FM. He was ABC. He's all over the place. He goes, good job, Len. Like me, you have a face for radio. Thanks a lot, Jay.
Hey, Axel J. How you doing, baby?
Just so many nice people. Pete Lesperance. Oh, my gosh. Hiya, Pete. Pete and I were stationed on the USS Milwaukee together.
Oh, thank you for your service, Pete. Can you guys share this video for me, please? I'm begging you, share it on your timeline, please. This would be amazing.
Oh, my lovely cousin Sandy Longo. I love you, Sandy, Cuzzy Poo. She's been to every show, and so has another cousin.
That's
a couple
so
of aunts.
cool.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
And she lives in Georgia, no less.
Oh,
She comes
that's
here
even
just
more
to see
cool.
the show. I love
All
her.
right.
It's great, and it's just it is a great show. Sean Marshall, another good buddy of mine. He and his wife also they live in Maryland, and they came up for the last run of the show. My daughter says shared. She heard you. She
Thank
shared
you,
it.
darling.
Thanks, Michelle.
Yep. Share it, guys. Please, every one of you watching, share this video.
It's yeah. Are we allowed to play a song?
So, let's talk to Doc G when he walks back in. We're having a problem, guys, playing songs, which we want to do. I want to talk to your dad when he comes back in here. I know. We're having problems with the shows being taken off and shut down because of songs being played, because of copyrights. I just don't want to mess this show up and take that chance.
We allowed to say, like, hit him in the hind.
Yeah.
Okay, Howard Stern, you watching that?
Baba Booey.
Yeah, Joan Elmore Nutting. I love you, Joan. She is one of the co-writers of one of the songs, co-lyricists of one of the songs in the
Hello,
show.
Joan.
And my other half, Helene Singer, helped write one of the songs. Love you, babe.
Guys, I'm booked until probably February, but I would love to meet anyone out there, any of you that are involved in this, and have you guys on in February, live on the show. So reach out to me on Facebook, guys. That would be so cool.
It is. If any, we're having the problem. Can you say what the problem is?
I just did.
Oh.
With copyrights.
Yeah. If any Facebook people are watching, and I don't mean the general public. I mean
Right.
those of you who are in the management team in Facebook. If we play a song, every song in this show, I own the copyrights. So don't pull us off the air because I'd like the audience to hear one of the songs.
I know.
Can I say the opening number, what the song is titled?
Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
Well, it's called City, right? But we sing, I really, truly love the city. And actually, one of our first rehearsals, they needed to know where everybody fell in. So vocally. This is actually my first musical. I've been an entertainer for many years and done many things, but musically. So it was a bit, I felt like sort of a fish out of water because everybody's been in musicals. And in the beginning, when we first started to do the song, you know, they had the piano and they had to warm up your voice and everything. And I've been singing for many years. I never warmed up my voice, you know, type of thing. So that was sort of felt a little weird. So they wanted to know then, Nick, where do you fall musically? So I started singing, you know, I really, truly like the city. People laughed a little bit, and she looked at me, and I did it again. I really, truly like the city. I forget who it was, said, do you like the city or do you love the city? It's like, damn it, that's right. I really, truly love the city.
Yeah.
There you go.
But that was a bit of an embarrassing moment at the beginning there. But
Yeah, but when you come out, when you come out for the first time in your scene, you're singing that song.
Oh yeah,
So
oh,
that's
yeah,
great.
definitely.
And the contrast is, the cast is saying, "I really truly love the city." Well, the main character Rosa hates it.
Right.
So while everybody else is just loving being on a New York street on a normal day, people passing by, the vendors, you know, things going on, Rosa's off to the side going. So it's funny.
Yes.
You know, you can see everybody's having a good time. She doesn't want to be bothered. So
What if we do this? I just don't want to take a chance. They've been really tough with our shows lately with playing music. What if we give everybody info where they can maybe hear one of the songs? Can we do that? Yeah, I don't want to play the music. No.
you want to take a chance?
I don't
You're
wanna
worried
take a
about
chance.
Facebook?
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what. One way they can for sure hear the songs. Not only one is to buy one of the CD soundtracks, which will be available at the show.
Wait, I know what we're going to do. No, wait, I have an idea. This is what we're going to do, guys. Did everybody say everything they really wanted everyone to know out there?
I think so. Please go to the GoFundMe campaign.
Yeah.
GoFundMe. They call it gravy, we call it sauce. Send in $1. Will you help me with these operational costs? After all, I pay the actors. I mean, I realize we're community theater.
Oh, is that how you're paying the actors? Please go to
Yes.
GoFundMe.
Yes.
I mean, it takes money to rent the theater, rent the equipment. You know, I had the set built. That set me back about
So where can you get the tickets? MJP.
Yeah.
MJP stands for Music Jar Productions, which is my company. It's producing the show. MJP.booktix, BOOKTIX.com. If you don't have a computer or if you're not that savvy
Okay.
and
Caller,
you
hold on.
can't do that, 609-303-2013. They'll call me, let me know that you need tickets. I'll call you, and I'll do your tickets.
And it'll be an early Christmas present.
We got a caller. Hold on a minute. Oh, okay. Call back, caller. So go ahead.
I was going to say it would be great early Christmas presents. So
Yeah,
and
it
you
is.
can hand them out maybe during your Thanksgiving meal or something. And Thanksgiving's like a week or two before that, but
And
it's a great Christmas
The
gift.
first night of Hanukkah is it December 1st? November 3rd. One of them is the first night of Hanukkah. What a way to open up the holiday
that's
season.
cool.
Come
There
see
you
the
go.
show. November 30th, December 1st, December 2nd, the Rosen Performing Arts Center, Wayne, New Jersey, 7:30 on Friday and Saturday, 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday. You will get to see this wonderful performer, Nick Ferrara, and he will tug at your heartstrings. She'll be in the audience.
I will be there, guys, December 1st.
And come and see the show. You'll really love it. And I'll tell you one thing, tickets are only $35, but if you wait until we take it to New York, guess what? Be a lot more than that. So this is a deal. And $25 if you're a student or a faculty member. So there you go. I'm giving teachers a break. Right?
I think that's an amazing break. I think this is a great deal. Before we're going to come to the end of the show, guys, the close soon. So what would you like to say about you? Tell everybody again.
Well, again, come see the musical. I'm going to say that again. Please come see the musical. It's just fantastic. And keep a lookout. Oh, I think tonight, I don't know what channel it is tonight. My brother texted me. They're showing Springsteen and I
Oh, wow, cool.
on TV tonight, and I don't know what channel. So, because it did run on Showtime for many, many
Okay.
months, and it actually is on Netflix. You can pull it up on Netflix, but Springsteen and I, it's on one of those networks that has they show a lot of concerts and a lot of things like that. I wish I could remember. But anyway, that's going on tonight. Backfire, really good film. It was on Amazon. It got pulled late last year because it did so well. Somebody actually bought the rights to it,
so
and they're
cool.
going to re-release it this year sometime, but they haven't re-released it yet. So that's Backfire. Keep a lookout for that, and then hopefully next spring we're gonna start filming, and then next fall, Brotherly Love hopefully will be out there. So.
I cannot
to
wait.
see.
First of all, I can't wait to see this musical. Second of all, I cannot wait to see Brotherly Love. Like, I'm just in awe at what's happening with your life, and I'm so happy for you. I'm sad that you're going to be doing probably your final, Elvis show, the Philly Elvis show. I'm a little sad about that.
32 years, so I
Yep.
think
I know.
I think it's time.
And you are following your dream,
think it's
and what
time.
you're doing is amazing. What you're
Thank
doing
you.
is amazing. So, Doc G, we're struggling with something right now. We really do want to play a song, but we're really nervous. I don't want this show to be pulled. What's your thoughts?
Like I said earlier, I would play it just on the radio.
Just on the radio. Okay, so this is what we're going to do, guys. We're going to close the show in a couple minutes.
Go see the show.
Go see the show. When we close Facebook, we're going to have it on Hamilton Radio, though. Okay? Only. So you can go to hamiltonradio.net, HR2, The Jerry Petito Show, and you'll be able to hear the song. On Facebook, we're not going to do it because we don't want to take a chance. So we are going to have it, and this is what we're going to do. Once we say goodbye here on Facebook, he's going to make sure Facebook is closed, and then you'll do it for Hamilton, and you'll keep it on there, okay? So I want to thank you guys for being my guest.
I want to thank you for having us. Me, anyway. Thank you so much. It was wonderful. Had a great time. And I'll do it anytime you want.
Well, I'm going to have you on my other radio shows as well, even if you can't. Well, Beverly Nation will have you as a call-in, all right? And we could do it where you're both calling in. We'll do it that way. It'll
Sure.
be really cool.
Great.
Okay? And then PANJ Radio, it's in Lambertville, New Jersey. I mean, you guys are welcome to come to me one day, and we could drive together. We could set that up as well.
I'll even bring another member of my cast.
Okay,
Maybe
so
2 or 3.
that would be cool. All right. But I just think you're amazing. Just everything that I've learned about you, I just
Thank
think
you.
you're awesome. And I cannot wait to see this musical.
Can't wait for you to be there.
Okay? You know how I feel about you. Come on,
Thank
my
you,
Philly
honey, for
Elvis. Nick, I love
inviting
you.
me again.
This is
I
just
appreciate it.
This is an honor for me. I just love you. And all right, guys. So we're gonna close a little early here now on Facebook because we want to let them play their music. So it's on the Jerry Petito Show on HamiltonRadio.net, HR2. Okay, in a little while, I guess. What, about a half hour? They could go check that out, Gino.
On YouTube?
No, on HR2, the song.
Oh,
No,
when,
it'll be up right away.
All right. So we're good now.
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
All right. So we want to close the show out though.
we still on Facebook?
Yeah.
Thank
gonna-
you, everybody,
Yep.
for coming in and watching the show, for
Yeah.
calling
Absolutely.
in. Much appreciated.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Mike, for calling in.
Okay.
See you at the show.
Thank you, guys. Share my video. Okay. So just make sure we're off on there, and then we're gonna play that for that.
Walk in a city on a sunny afternoon. The crowded sidewalks, people rushing everywhere. Car horns honking through, vendors shouting true. Rainbow colored window
Walk in a city on a sunny afternoon. The crowded sidewalks, people rushing everywhere. Cars honking through, vendors shouting true. Rainbow colored window Old women scrubbing faded brownstone marble floors.
The music's blasting from 1,000 open doors. Stickball in the street, children under feet. Lovers with no place to meet. Sunny afternoon, city full of noises, people City, what you do? Could I ever run away from
You are my very soul, and you can set me free.
I thank you 'cause you're always life and breath to me.
Rhythm's really sweet. The people that I meet, city living can be beat. I really truly love the city. I really truly love the city. The smiles of people coming out from all the shows. The street musicians jamming, making music flow. The improv telling jokes. The city energizes folks. I really truly love the city.
Riveting review.
Broadway theater's always something new.
A thousand things to do.
Open up your heart, you'll love it too. It is my very soul and it has set me free. I thank it cause it's always life and breath to me.
Action on the streets, it makes my life complete. City